I'm born and brought up in Ladakh. I'm a pure Ladakhi.
Wow.
I don't think the Art of Living is religious. I feel Art of Living is the most secular organization, right? You'll find people from all background or color, creed, gender, caste,
Yes,
religion,
yes.
region, nation. अगर एलियन होते तो शायद वो भी आ जाते वो हमारे रीच में होते it is that
Wow,
secular and
yes.
that inclusive,
Yes.
right? So
Yeah.
that's what I love about this.
Kausar, let's start from how did you come to Art of Living and how did your journey start? I know you are a teacher full time, like Art of Living teacher for past 5 years. So let's start from there.
Yeah. So thank you for this question. This question is very special to me, and I came to know about the Art of Living in my college. That was Delhi Technological University, which is formerly called Delhi College of Engineering. So Art of Living and Yes Plus program, the youth program of Art of Living was a thing. You know, it was like so many people were part of it when I was there. So we had a session and someone told me that something like this is going to happen, just go and see. It was an introductory talk, and in the background I would like to mention that I was not going through a great phase of my life. I was undergoing a acute anxiety, and I was looking for something that would give me mental strength and mental peace. And going more into the background, as since a teenager I was always in like to learn yoga and meditation, and I was looking for someone who would teach me. And I had tried YouTube, and before joining Art of Living, for every day 1 hour I will do practice yoga just watching YouTube. And
Wow, on you used to practice yoga on your own through YouTube.
Yes, watching the Shilpa Shetty's
Wonderful.
video.
Okay.
Yeah,
Very
so,
interesting.
Yeah, so the Shilpa yoga was quite famous at that time, and yeah, it was good just as a beginner. And just like, I had that innate desire to learn meditation. That was the primary thing that struck me in Art of Living. Then I had my roommate. She was super enthusiastic about this program, and she almost dragged me into it. And I remember the fees that was there. That was the only money that was remaining in my account. I was on zero balance once I paid my registration fees. And but yeah, it was one of the best decisions that I had. It was a long 7-day program at that time, quite comprehensive. You know, so I did the Sudarshan Kriya, and most of that, what struck me in that was I'm a very sensitive person. You know, I can immediately sense the energy, even as a child. So what I could sense was there was so much happiness inside that hall as compared to outside the hall.
Yeah.
You know, so when I
which always is the case in all the courses.
So, yes, that energy is that palpable energy is that you can actually that happiness felt very tangible. You know, it felt very tangible. And the teacher, Mr. Rohit Ranjan, who was my faculty, and there were so many other assisting teachers, and luckily so many different guest faculties like Mr. Phil McKenzie and Mr. Salil Pulekar. So many people turned up in that program for some unknown reason. So I could actually meet so many people in one program, and I would like to mention the entire team of the Art of Living volunteers in that college, my seniors. They were amazing bunch of people, all toppers in their branches, all good in different programs. And I guess they were the primary reason I stayed connected. And yeah, and then that started my journey. After that, I would attend. I was very regular. One thing that is sincerity has been there as a part of my life since I was a child, and I guess I got it from my parents. So I would practice Kriya every single day. I don't remember missing it. And then I was dragged into a DSN program. Dragged would be the right word.
Okay.
It was just 2 months after my Yes Plus, I went to a DSN program, and that changed me a lot. You know, I had, faced some molestation. I had faced some anxiety during my school days. I was a lonely teenager. I hardly had friends. I had made friends in when I was in 12th. Till then, I guess for long 6 7 years, I did not have many good friends. So my entire mind was working very differently, and
So
that had
during
kind of
your teenagers,
eased
you
me.
were going through a very rough time, which you were not
not
able to.
not early teens, but I would say when I was in class level, 16 15 16 17 types,
Okay.
not before that. So that time, that kind of gave me this. So when I went to DSN, I just felt a surge of strength inside me. I had always been very upfront while talking, but for few years I was not. Because of anxiety, because of changing schools couple
Hmm.
of times, I had not been that. But after DSN, I could see that thing of me when I was at 6 7 8 year old, extremely upfront, that came back. I could stand up and talk, and uh, even if someone would not behave nicely with me, I could say कि मैं ऐसे क्यों बात करूं, like boys staring at you on the street or in the bus. I could look back and see, so DSN changed a lot for me. It made me much stronger, which I required in that phase of life. So I feel, yes, plus DSN as a package together helped me a lot. So from there I started, and as after DSN, I was always interested in social work. My parents were into
Right.
social work since I have seen them. My father was a government employee, and along with that, he started the first private school of my village, right, without drawing any salary from the school. And that school is now among the top 10 Jammu and Kashmir board schools, right?
Wow.
So I had seen my parents going above, moving out of their comfort zone and working for the society. So that was in my DNA. When I saw Art of Living, I found that same platform coming up, right? So yeah, Seva was very natural for me. Yeah, and I started going ahead, and I saw, and my seniors were incredible. They were like amazing. The way they worked, the way they balanced their studies, their friends, their family, Seva, Art of Living, they were incredible. I just followed their footsteps, and I remember we had adopted a blind school. I would go and work in there, and orphanages, and then organized at least one program per semester in our colleges with all the enthusiasm.
Wow.
We'll go. It was like a celebration fest. So that's how slowly I went into that Art of Living mode. I did my advanced meditation course very late. It got, I may remember thrice I booked it and it got cancelled because of
Okay.
some other reason. But
Hmm.
in 2013, I did the advanced meditation program with Rishi Vidyadharji, someone I would
Wow.
really respect.
Yes.
And he was my Sahaj teacher also. So I feel, and especially after practicing Sahaj, when Sahaj, I did regular Sahaj, I'm very regular with Sahaj Samadhi meditation. And that, uh, that kind of cleared all the confusions, because most of the people would tell me, oh, this is all Hindu thing, you are a Muslim. By the way, I come from a very religious family. My grandparents were all Maulvis, and they were the religious preachers. My father also goes to mosque and preaches. I come from a very religious background. Everybody would say, this ये है वो है कहाँ जा रही हो, कन्वर्ट हो रही हो तक बोल दिया था लोगों ने. So after Sahaj, my doubts, my if I had certain doubts in my mind, it also got cleared. I don't think Art of Living is religious. I feel Art of Living is the most secular organization, right? You'll find people from all background or color, creed, gender, caste,
Yes. Yes.
religion, region, nation. अगर एलियन होते तो शायद वो भी आ जाते, अगर वो हमारे रीच में होते. It is that
Wow.
secular and
Yes.
that inclusive,
Yes.
right? So
Yeah.
that's what I love about this, and there especially there are so many organizations. I'm not generally like corporate also, where sometimes girls are not given that important, their voice is not given that important. One thing in Art of Living is that if you work, whether you're a woman or a man, you are given that importance. Yeah.
Yeah.
So slowly I kept moving in Art of Living, and then I had in the back of the mind, I had decided to become a teacher after one or two courses.
Art of Living
And
teacher.
then Art of Living
Yeah.
faculty, a facilitator, because ये तो एक ऐसी चीज है जो करना ही है types. So and then you
Because it
you
has
got
brought
into
so
it.
much transformation in your life, so you wanted to bring this transformation to other people's life also.
Yeah, basically, I had seen what not having good mental health is. I have experienced it
Absolutely,
myself.
yes.
I was a class topper from nursery to, I would say, 11th. A regular class topper. After my anxiety, I became the lowest scorer of the class. I have seen life turning upside down if your mental health is not good, you know. And I had few images of things like Kargil War, which happened when I was in class 2. And one of my, he was my father's Mamaji. He was a very great Islamic scholar. When he died out of dementia, which is again a brain issue, right?
Yes.
These images kind of implanted this fact in my mind that my mind, mental health, mind education is the primary thing. This is the thing that should reach everyone, you know. So that is the I will primary reason I set art of living faculty. That is the way. I mean, as a teacher now, I have taught more than 80-85 programs as of now, and hopefully I'll teach more. I have seen transformation happening in front of us. I have seen people with suicidal tendencies living a better life. It is happening right in front of my eyes. So that's what I wanted to do when I was myself going through anxiety. So my
आप लद्दाख में पली बड़ी है primarily, right? And you lived in Ladakh,
Yeah.
Kashmir area all throughout your childhood. And
Yes.
then you became an art of living faculty, and you have contributed a lot in these regions. So I wanted to understand from your perspective, who have lived in these regions, कि यहाँ पे on a day-to-day basis लोग क्या problem face करते हैं, और आर्ट ऑफ लिविंग में जो ग्रास रूट लेवल पे जो प्रोजेक्ट्स हो रहे हैं, हाउ आर दीज प्रोजेक्ट्स हेल्पिंग with these problems people face in their day-to-day lives?
Okay, so Ladakh is a very beautiful called Himalayas, and the climate is of course very different than plains. Even just 1,000 kilometers away, that is Delhi, has a very different climate than what Himalayas has, right? So harsh climates, of course, comes up with a lot of problems. Yeah, in terms of living conditions, in terms of availability of materials, things. But one thing I would like to point out: if you go deep into real Ladakhi culture, then you will find that people have found sustainable ways to handle those problems in whatever available things, right? So of course climatic conditions bring up problems like the running water. If you use a modern type of toilets and washrooms, the running water is not there because it freezes. Just like now it will start freezing, right?
Right.
And the roads are cut off, like the two highways we have. One connects to Manali and another connects to Kashmir. Both will be cut off. Manali is, I guess, already done. Now Kashmir will also be closed. It on and off snowfall keeps happening.
Because of winters right now.
Yeah, because of snowfall in the some passes like Zujila Pass and Baralacha and all those passes, they are very high mountain passes, and when the snowfall happens, the movement of vehicles cannot happen at that time.
Yes,
Like
yes,
the roads are not in that condition. Yeah, okay. So what happens that kind of closes out. Okay, everything is closed out. So in that case, uh, uh, you will see the lack of some important supplies like vegetables, gas cylinders at times, and fuel, things like that. Though government does a lot of stocking in terms of fuel and others, but perishable items, of course, you cannot stock. So yeah, that is a lack of it. In Leh, now I live near the capital town Leh, but if you go little deeper into other areas, maybe the problem increases, right? That's how it is. That is some few things. And I would say that climate change, I mean, climate change is something that is impacting everyone, but especially the people of Himalayas are getting highly impacted by it. So whatever actions people living in plains do, and that impacts the climate, I guess more than they themselves, it impacts us who are not even damaging the climate that much. right? So climate change
Right.
has impacted the seasonal patterns of Ladakh. This summers I have seen such heat which I've never experienced ever since I've taken birth. It was so hot. Few days were so hot. Like we don't have fan connections. Forget about AC. We don't have fans,
Yes.
right?
Yes.
Uh, but now I have seen restaurants, university classes all coming up with air conditioners. That is not Ladakh, you know. So the temperatures have significantly changed. I mean, uh, and that is one of the thing that I hope people understand. Climate change is a huge problem, and the first set of people whom it will impact is Himalayas. First set of people, be it us, be it Himachali, be it Uttarakhand, be it Northeast India, everyone, right? So I guess that's a huge problem which might not be visible. And of course, with tourism comes boon and bane both. Tourism is a huge livelihood source. It has brought prosperity to thousands of people here in Ladakh. But uncontrolled tourism anywhere in the world would create a lot of problems. So, and I feel now things are improving. Like education is improving a little bit. Earlier we did not have any professional colleges. Now they've said that government has said they will build medical colleges, engineering colleges, mass communication colleges. Slowly things education is coming up more, and employment is on and off an issue. So yeah, these are few things I feel. Connectivity, maybe all these come up with an issue. Anything that comes with remote areas, and we share international borders, right? We live on
Right.
an international border, so border places have their own set of problems. Like so many, like if you talk about LAC, then so many people, so many the security has been increased a lot with Indo-Tibet or Indo-China border at Bangkok, and also so many people who live a nomadic life that there find a little difficulty because there are more restrictions now, right? So now, I thank God there is more peace between India and Pakistan and India and China comparatively. But we have seen wars, right?
Yes.
So the scars are always there. Yeah, so these are few problems that comes with this beautiful place.
Yeah.
But
So,
yeah, this is
how you have seen grassroots level projects conducted by Art of Living, right? In this regard. So, how do you think these projects have helped with these problems
yes.
or any of?
So yes, so Art of Living has started many projects, and I guess this is just the beginning. We are going to do a lot.
Yes.
So, in
Yes.
terms of employability, SSRDP, the Shrishi Rural Development Program, has now started a very amazing and beautiful training center in Leh, which trains young people, youth for it gives them vocational training for plumbing and for solar electricians. And I want to tell this to you that almost every electrician or every plumber in our place is from outside. We hardly find anyone from this place, right?
Okay.
Maybe because of lack of training, or few people don't find the job that feasible. But this training center has the best quality equipments, best quality facilities, best trainers. So that is one a great contribution done by SSRDP and Art of Living, right? And secondly, one more project Art of Living did in collaboration with Sidbi Bank, and we planted 60,000 trees across Ladakh,
Wow.
and some 20,000 medicinal herbs were planted. So, financial support was given to the farmers. I guess that was a very different project because every common
Beautiful.
man and a common farmer got that support, and medicinal plants. So, financial support was given for not just for the planting of it, but for the entire 1 year maintenance. Of course, we have taken regular checks, and it is not like you plant a tree and you forget about it. This project is like every
Yeah.
2 months people are coming up taking pictures whether the plant is growing, the water is being done. So very nice, I would say, thing that so much greenery has popped up suddenly in
Wow.
across. So we did not do it at one place because of course we don't have that much water. The water scarcity is another problem in Ladakh because it's a desert. So some plants were different villages. In our school also we planted 500 trees under this project, Art of Living and Sidbi in collaboration. So this was a great project which helped medicinal herb farmers as well as common people. And then we have courses, like we have conducted a lot of programs in even in EJM College, the degree college in Leh, as well as we conducted some programs in various schools also. So post COVID, you see, especially with teenagers, their whole mind is become something different. The biggest impact that has been put of COVID in terms of mental health is of teenagers. I can see a
Yes.
drastic increase in the number of people getting into addictions, into loneliness, into anxiety post COVID, attention deficiency. So we have been
So
working a lot
this,
on this.
are you talking about this in context of only Jammu Kashmir Ladakh region, or as like in general?
uh, it would have been happening everywhere, but I have not interacted with other kids, so I would not
Right.
understand much, right?
So
I'm
specific
telling
to
you one
the,
hand experience. I feel it is happening everywhere. If you see the
yeah.
newspapers, if you I have been reading a lot of articles on mental health. Generally, I keep reading that. So I find psychologically, the Regional India Today also published one article, and they specifically said four things, and one of them was attention deficiency. Attention deficit was a huge problem. So I feel that what I this, now I'm telling you my first hand experience with the students here. So we have been conducting workshops in schools, sessions in schools, and conducting the during COVID also we conducted online Utkarsh Yoga, Medha Yoga programs of Art of Living, and then we conducted a lot of sessions like that, and that helped especially to help the students. And this is just a beginning. I'm telling you, we have whatever we have covered, we want to cover more. We want to reach more and more students, and we're working on it, right? And even I have personally raised a lot of funds, so that people who are in COVID, tourism completely shut off, right? So many parents could not even pay school fees. So how would they pay an extra workshop fees? So I
Right.
personally raised more than a lakh rupees to support these students and help them to come for these sessions. So like this, we have done a lot of mental health and art of living student programs or teenager and children programs here. I'll just but say this is a beginning. I would just say that we're not done
Yeah.
with it. And some people courses. So initially also we did so much. I focused mainly on ladies workshops, all ladies programs, because there are so many homemakers who don't feel comfortable in the presence of a man, right? So common workshops are also good, but only ladies programs I had, so that everybody's free and talking and expressing themselves. So they were singing, they were doing things, they had cooked stuff, all their creativity which might have buried for years had come out. And such good experiences of these ladies. And then we had some executive workshops. Thank you. Workshops coming up, and we had so many workshops happening. So, yes, and that was one thing. Now, during the COVID, I personally conducted many COVID care programs, especially for the people of Ladakh, and where we conducted the pre-COVID, post-COVID, and immunity care programs. That was a regular; it would happen every single week. And I also conduct a Project Pavitra. You know, right? Project Pavitra, the
Yes.
menstrual health workshops. So one more I have planned just maybe this week only. This weekend there we have one more Project Pavitra coming up the next weekend. So these were workshops we regularly conduct, and free yoga sessions, and special programs on International Day of Yoga and all those free yoga 21 days yoga sessions. I conducted a lot of online sessions majorly, where I had people from villages Kirk of Kargil and from Zangskar. These are little far off, like at least from where I'm staying right now, it is around 200 to 50 kilometers away. So all these people joined us online. Yeah, so regular sessions, I make sure we do a lot of regular sessions. And yeah, and during especially during COVID, we had a lot of free sessions for with Ayurvedic doctors from Shishi Tattva Bangalore, Shishi Panchakarma. So in those sessions, we had specific sessions on thyroid, we had specific session of menstrual health, we had specific sessions on teenage health, all those things. So lots of things were done. So I guess art of living is contributing a lot. And now I don't want to reveal everything, but we are working on a lot of projects, and a lot of collaborations with different organizations are working here is going to
Yeah.
happen. And I think within few more months you will see a lot of more activities happening in Ladakh, and for the benefit of Ladakhi people and the local people. So I feel it is just the beginning, like what, like the way Gurudev's work and any good work, kind of explodes.
Yeah.
Right? That's how it's going to happen in Ladakh, inshallah.
Yeah. So, have you also been part of, or do you know about the prison program? The
Oh yeah. Oh, I'm really sorry. I forgot that we recently had a prison program. Yeah. Under this, we have Azadi Ka Amrit Mahotsav, right? So we had this collaboration with government authorities, and we had a prison program in Leh jail, and more of them is going to come up. So I saw, I was a part of it, though I was not completely there because I had an injury in my foot, so my walking was not possible.
Okay.
For 1 or 2 days, I was there, and in few documentation, I was around. So the workshop was taken very nicely, and very good response was come up. And so we are planning more prison programs, prison rehabilitation programs, which will help people to come back to mainstream.
When somebody goes to Himalayan region, they expect a lot from that region. You know, Arey wow, we will see beautiful mountains, we will experience different culture, we will experience new food, we will see this, we will see that, and you know, all sorts of things. And with lots of expectation, people go to Himalayan region on a travel or vacation. But I would like to know, what do people from the Himalayan region expect from people, these travelers, especially people who come from the plains? What do they expect from them as, you know, tourists? For example, somebody is coming for just a week or 10 days. So what is expected out of them? Because the waste management is a huge problem in the Himalayan region, I know. The tourist littering is a huge problem. The plastic, you know, plastic jo wrappers either उधर फेंक देते हैं, they don't care about that. So I feel there is a need for a change in, you know, consciousness of people, especially the travelers who go to these regions, that they have to be sensitive towards these regions. I would like to, you know, hear something from you about it.
Thank you for bringing up this point. Tourism in Himalayas is, of course, a huge boon, first of all, because it has brought a lot of prosperity to
Yes.
people. It has brought a lot of money to people, a lot of exposure also. Different type of people coming up here, and you know, like that, so you can interact and stuff like that. So a lot of prosperity has come, a lot of good things has come. Now, when you talk about the vein of tourism, when you talk about the mindset, how people should be. Waste management is 100% a huge problem, because initially the waste created in Himalayas was very less, because the lifestyle of people was quite simple. They would not really create much waste. So what they knew only one way of waste management, it was burning it, right? But now the amount of packaging that has come up, plastic, you cannot burn it. It is harmful to the environment.
Yes.
And the amount of waste that is created, it is a huge difficulty. And I feel waste management is something that every government needs to be very serious about. And I can see some steps, you know, I can see a lot of steps. You will see, if you see Leh city itself, you'll find it is much more cleaner than many Himalayan cities, right? I'm not saying that government has not taken, they have taken initiatives, but we as a human, as citizens, also need to take a lot of initiatives.
Yeah.
In terms of littering and plastic usage, I feel it is not just tourists. I've seen now in locals also, it is a huge usage of plastics. In every marriage that I've attended, I said, you are using this mineral water, which has written the water from Himalayas. Why don't we directly take it from the Himalayas? We have spring water in a, yeah, spring water is like, I drink spring water only. We have a spring water source very near to my house, which comes from the mountains. Use that only. Why do I use something that has been kept in package for 4 months? I mean, so I feel there is a huge lack of awareness. And presently, I'm designing something where I can actually go out in local language and talk about plastic for locals. And with for tourists, I feel usage of plastic should be banned everywhere. It is not just Himalayas. If you're using it in Delhi, Punjab, Haryana, Uttarakhand, Siliguri, anywhere, please don't use it. It is harmful for the planet. So we need to have both the things. Consciousness change is there, but that is a bit slow, and laws and regulations need to be very strong, right? You see a plastic bottle, it should be banned. And I feel for both locals and tourists, so littering, plastic ban should be banned, and there should be dustbins available. There should be public convenience properly available. I guess that is something the policymakers need to work on, and localites need to work on, right? And rules has to be very strong. Secondly, Ladakh is a very ecologically sensitive place, right? It is a desert. The water available is scarce. Okay, it is not supposed to support thousands of more people. It is good that tourists come, but I feel that there has to be some restriction. Look, we cannot, of course, we cannot follow the Bhutan model or maybe those models where people just have a limited number of tourists. Maybe it is not possible here, but for places like Pangong Lake, for places like Riri, or far off Nubra Valley, I
Can
feel
you talk a little bit about, you just mentioned the Bhutan model. Can you talk a little bit about that? The
I'm
Bhutan
sorry.
model you mentioned.
Bhutan model means they have in Bhutan they don't allow as many tourists as they come. No, they limit.
Okay.
They have a number of people. After that, they don't allow in their country. So they want quality tourism, but not possible in all. India is not Bhutan, right? We have a different population. We have a huge population, but few areas like border areas where government gives where everybody requires to take an inner line permit ILP. Government might can restrict the number of ILPs given, right? In a particular time. Pangong Lake was filled with tourists. You cannot imagine that little place was filled in July and there was not even one room available. I myself was searching for some clients. It was not available. People might not realize it, but in some time we are going to have a huge, we're going to create a huge havoc. So I feel the restriction has to be there, number of people getting
So
into
this,
that sensitive places should be reduced. I guess this should be done as soon as possible. That is very important, and that is one thing. And in terms of tourists, I feel that when I was small, we had more of foreign tourists. Indian tourists were very less. We had more foreigners coming up. Now I see very less foreigners coming up. But one thing about those foreigners were that they would be very respectful of our culture. They would try to mingle in Ladakhi culture, try to eat that food, wear the dress. But now what I feel is that there is a huge stress on Ladakh to provide things which are available in plain. Ladakhi food is a bit bland. And people think it is only momos and thukpas. No, it is not. Neither Himachali
of course,
cuisine is like
yes.
that, nor Ladakhi cuisine. Ladakhi cuisine
Yeah.
has a huge range of things, and Himachal also has a huge. So please
Yeah.
explore. So I feel that every tourist should also have that sense of exploring the culture and respecting the culture. Explore. There are so many beautiful things. Respect the culture of people. Respect the traditions. So don't expect all the facilities that you get in a plane, and don't put that stress and pressure on the mountain regions. So adjust a bit and enjoy, and respect the traditions, explore the traditions. Don't just do a fixed touristy path. And Ladakh is a place where you can just sit and relax and just see. It is like time stops. If you go to so many places like Zanskar and so many places, suddenly you'll feel like okay, everything has stopped. It brings so much stillness in you. So anyone who loves that would just love it. So if you're a nature lover, then this is you. If you're a photography lover like I am, an enthusiast, I'm a student of photography. It is a paradise for you, right? So yes, just having that sense of respect to the culture, people, environment, and tradition is the only thing that we need to have when you come here.
Yes.
And Ladakh is always welcome. People are very warm. Their doors are open. Anyone is ready to help you. And especially for female solo travelers, I have traveled a lot alone. This is a very safe place. Anybody can come up, right? But एक ही चीज है, respect for culture, respect for people, respect for the environment. That's it. Nothing more is required, I feel.
Beautiful. Yeah.